And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times. So, you know, if I burn out, I burn out.
Pierce had it poked away, stolen by Jordan. Lojas down on the floor. It's loose to Humphries. 4 to shoot. Humphries 3.
You like the idea. Jordan coming up with the steal.
Oh, look at that. The 40-year-old dives to the hardwood.
To have a long career, that's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning.
Kevin Durant just said something on LeBron's podcast that crossed a line nobody ever saw coming. And the wild part is this. LeBron sat there laughing like it was the best joke of his life. They really thought they could throw shade at Michael Jordan's legacy and slip away without anybody noticing. That moment flipped the entire basketball world upside down. The backlash hit instantly. Former teammates spoke up, fans flooded social media, and Jordan's legacy responded in the strongest way possible, with straight facts that made LeBron and Durant look completely out of place. It wasn't just criticism, it was a reality check that echoed across the entire league. Everything went down on Mind the Game, the podcast LeBron hosts with JJ Redick. Durant pulled up as a guest with Steve Nash, and everyone expected real hoop talk from real hoop minds. Instead, it turned into something totally different. A sneaky little gossip circle where two of the biggest names of this era took subtle jabs at the man many still call the greatest of all time, and the way they smiled through it made it feel even more bold. Durant started speaking on commitment, talking about how players should reevaluate if they truly want to keep going after so many years in the league. He acted like it was just a normal discussion, but the tone had people raising eyebrows the moment it dropped. He started talking about how players eventually reach a moment where they ask themselves if they still want to keep pushing, and then he dropped a line that lit the whole internet on fire. Durant said, "Some people say, I want to go play baseball. Yeah, and then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight." The room froze for a second like nobody knew whether to react or stay quiet. Then LeBron broke the silence with a full laugh. Not a soft smile, not a little chuckle, a loud laugh that showed he knew exactly what Durant was aiming at. And everyone watching instantly caught the message. Durant was taking a shot at Michael Jordan stepping away from basketball while lifting up LeBron for going nonstop for over 2 decades. He was basically saying Jordan walked away and LeBron never did. He was saying long careers mean more than true dominance. Steve Nash sat there nodding along and LeBron kept laughing, and suddenly it didn't feel like a regular conversation anymore.
Yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Because you know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight.
Coward.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twisted my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. This is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
It felt like a planned message, like they were trying to reshape the entire story of basketball greatness right in front of millions. They were pushing the idea that staying in the league forever is more impressive than being so incredible that the whole sport bends around you. But here's the part they avoided, the part they left out on purpose, because mentioning it would make their whole point fall apart instantly. Michael Jordan didn't step away in 1993 because he was bored. He didn't leave because he wanted a new hobby or because basketball got too easy. He stepped away because his father passed away in a tragic situation, and it changed everything for him emotionally and mentally. James Jordan lost his life that summer during a robbery, left on the side of the road, and the entire basketball world felt the impact, even if they didn't understand it at the time. The man who pushed Michael to greatness, the man who believed in him before anyone else ever did, was suddenly gone. And Michael Jordan, at the absolute peak of his abilities, after winning 3 straight championships, stepped away from the game. He didn't walk away because he quit. He stepped back because he was grieving, because he wanted to honor his father by chasing the dream they talked about together, playing professional baseball. It was personal, it was emotional, and it was one of the most human moments the sport had ever seen.
All right, Laker Nerd asks, why is the triangle offense less utilized in today's game?
To try to run the triangle offense right now, it'd be very challenging just because how the game is played and also how defense is covering.
10 to shoot. Jake going right to the rack. No defensive communication.
Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
It's funny, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Garth Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it. Gets it up ahead.
So when Kevin Durant casually tosses out, some people play baseball with that little smirk, he's not making some clever basketball argument. He's being flat out disrespectful. He's trying to turn one of Jordan's most painful life moments into a casual punchline. And LeBron, sitting right there laughing along, ended up co-signing that energy without even thinking twice. Neither one of them mentioned the context. Neither one of them brought up James Jordan. They just cracked their joke and moved on like nobody would call them out for it. They acted like it was harmless when it was anything but harmless. Now, let's break down what Jordan actually did when he retired. Was it after getting bounced early in the playoffs? Was it after getting embarrassed on the big stage? Was it because his team fell apart? Absolutely not. Jordan stepped away after winning his third straight title. He three-peated. He touched the highest level of basketball greatness and then walked away on his own terms, something even Magic Johnson never achieved. Larry Bird never did that. Isaiah Thomas never did that. 3 championships in a row, while carrying the heaviest grief of his life and still performing at a legendary level. Basketball experts and former players all agree that Jordan's run from 1991 to 1993 was the greatest stretch of basketball ever seen. The best player at his absolute strongest, dominating the entire league like it was nothing. So calling that quitting isn't just wrong, it's straight up insulting. And here's where the irony gets real thick. Look at who's making these comments. Kevin Durant, the same guy many fans claim ran away from challenges over and over again. In 2016, after losing to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, Durant made a decision that still follows him everywhere he goes. He joined them. He joined the team that knocked his squad out, the 73-win team that already had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green locked in. That move is still viewed by a lot of people as the softest jump any superstar ever made in NBA history. Fans questioned him, players questioned him, and he still did it because he wanted the smoothest road to championships. And it didn't end there. After leaving Golden State, Durant walked away from Brooklyn too. He demanded a trade after things didn't go the way he expected, couldn't handle the pressure of being the main leader, couldn't find a way to run a team without stacking up another superstar crew around him. Then he went to Phoenix and walked away from them too. He didn't even make it through 3 full years before asking out yet again. Every time the situation got tough, he dipped.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times.
It might not be in the team's best interest, in your best interest to play all 82. Is that something you thought about at all since you made the goal?
Maybe that's a goal, but yeah, we'll see.
The next day.
I'm available to go and be in the pro. If OBJ shows up, he might score 100.
So, the wild part is this. This is the guy calling Michael Jordan a quitter. The same guy who's bounced from squad to squad his entire career. Then there's LeBron. When things got tough in Cleveland the first time, he took his talents to South Beach and teamed up with D-Wade and Bosh because he couldn't get it done on his own. When the Heat started slowing down in 2014, he dipped back to Cleveland. And the moment that situation got rocky again, he packed up and headed to Los Angeles. Every time adversity showed up, LeBron found the closest exit sign. So for these two to sit on a podcast and throw jokes at Jordan for stepping away after a three-peat, during a time when he was grieving his father's tragic passing, that takes some real nerve. That takes a level of self-awareness they clearly didn't bring to the studio that day. And the disrespect didn't stop with the baseball line. Durant kept pushing the narrative, saying the real goal for an NBA player shouldn't be championships, shouldn't be MVPs, shouldn't be squeezing every drop of talent out of every single season. He said the goal should be playing 20 years, just longevity, just hanging around, just being present. And LeBron nodded along like this was some groundbreaking truth, like simply lasting forever is more impressive than dominating the league completely, even if it's for a shorter run. This is where Michael Jordan's entire mindset shuts their argument down without him even needing to respond. Jordan never chased longevity. He chased greatness. He chased precision. He chased that feeling of being the absolute best every time he stepped on the floor. His mission was crystal clear: maximize himself, elevate his team, win championships, win MVPs, lock in on both ends, and leave everything out there every season. And if that meant his career wasn't the longest, he didn't care. He cared about being unstoppable while he was here. Jordan said it himself: "If I burn out, I burn out. That means my career is short and I'll go play golf somewhere." He meant every word of it. He wasn't stressing about playing 20 years. He wasn't worried about stretching out his career just to say he lasted 2 decades. He cared about being the best, about winning, about building a legacy based on pure dominance, not durability. Now compare that mindset to what Durant just said. He's acting like the main goal is simply lasting 20 seasons. Not greatness, not legacy, not pushing your limits, just surviving, just collecting checks, and staying around long enough to say you made it 2 decades. That's not the same energy Jordan brought at all. Jordan played 15 seasons total, but realistically only 13 full seasons once you count his retirements. And in that short window, look at what he stacked up. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 9 scoring titles, and 9 all-defensive team selections. That's not just impressive, that's close to perfection. That's a resume almost nobody in history can stand next to.
You know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me and I want to shut him up. So if the guys are coming to watch me play, I don't want to miss that opportunity. Now, physically, if I can't do it, then I can't do it. But physically, if I can do it, and I just don't feel like doing it, that's a whole different lens.
What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. You know, I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, you know, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy.
Now look at Durant and LeBron together. Between the two of them, they've played 39 combined seasons, almost 3 times as long as Jordan's real peak. Almost 40 years of professional basketball between them. And what do they have to show for all that time? 6 championships combined, 5 regular season MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 5 scoring titles, and only 5 all-defensive selections total. Almost 40 years of basketball, yet they accomplished less than Jordan did in basically a decade. Twice the time, half the results. That's the real difference between longevity and greatness. Jordan wasn't speaking theory when he talked about his approach. He lived it every single year he stepped on the court. He proved it from the moment he stepped into the league in 1984. As a rookie, Jordan played all 82 games, every single one. That season, only about 40 players in the entire NBA pulled off a full schedule. And back then, it wasn't something special. It was expected. Jordan averaged 38.3 minutes per game, 4th highest in the league, and his total minutes ranked 3rd behind Buck Williams and Larry Bird. From day one, Michael Jordan showed he was built different. Michael Jordan was an Iron Man in an era where the game was tougher, more physical, and way more demanding. Teams flew commercial, not private. Most squads had one trainer, one strength coach, and practices went longer, harder, and with way more physical contact. Back-to-backs were constant. 3 games in 4 nights were normal, and players still showed up every night ready to hoop. In the 1999 to 2000 season alone, 58 players played all 82 games. 58! That's more than half the league showing up every night and giving fans exactly what they paid to see. That was the standard. That was normal NBA culture. Now look at today. In 2022, the league had the lowest number of full-season players in NBA history. Then 2023 broke that record. Then 2024 broke that one. And 2025 broke it again. The worst years for player availability in NBA history are happening right now. And we're talking about the 2020s, an era where players have every possible advantage. Today's athletes fly on private jets, have full medical staffs, sports science teams, personalized nutrition plans, state-of-the-art training rooms, ice baths, cryotherapy, massage therapists, sleep coaches, literally everything you can imagine to stay healthy and ready to play. And somehow, they're playing less than ever. Why? Because the mindset shifted. The whole standard of the NBA flipped. When LeBron started taking rest days and sitting out games simply because he felt tired, it sent a message across the entire league. If the top guy can sit whenever he wants, why shouldn't everyone else do the same? It spread fast. Role players started resting. Bench guys started resting. Suddenly, the whole league moved toward this idea that regular season games don't really matter unless it's playoff time. And now, it's somehow acceptable to let down fans who spent serious money on tickets all because a player doesn't feel like suiting up that night. That attitude became normal in today's NBA, and it changed everything. Jordan addressed this perfectly without even mentioning LeBron or Durant by name. He talked about load management, about resting when you're not actually hurt, about choosing comfort over competition. And he broke it down in the simplest way possible. He said, "I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove myself. The fans are there watching. I want to impress that guy way up in the top deck who probably worked hard just to afford a ticket." That's the difference right there. Jordan respected the game. He respected the fans. He saw being an NBA player as a privilege, not a chore. He never took the court for granted, not once. Meanwhile, LeBron has played a full 82-game season only one time in his entire career. One single time in over 20 years. Legends like Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, even Allen Iverson did it multiple times without needing special treatment or long-term rest schedules. And Durant? He's only played a full season 3 times in his entire career. 3! For two guys speaking boldly about longevity and commitment, their own records paint a very different picture. These are the same guys talking about longevity like it's some trophy, like just showing up is somehow more impressive than actually showing out. And there's one story that explains Jordan's mindset better than anything else. Former Bulls player Artis Gilmore once told rookie Michael Jordan, "If you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor." Basically telling him to stop diving for loose balls, stop playing so hard, stop putting his body on the line. Jordan's response? What? He's crazy. That's how he felt, because to him, that was what basketball was all about: hustle, effort, and going all in every single night. Jordan wasn't focused on stretching out his career. He was focused on playing the right way, giving everything he had, competing with full intensity every time he stepped on the court. And Larry Bird was the same way. Both Jordan and Bird played under 15 full seasons because they left everything out there. Every night, all season, no shortcuts, no pacing themselves for some distant year 20. They weren't thinking about longevity. They were thinking about that game, that matchup, that championship run. They understood something simple. Greatness is about intensity, not longevity. It's about the quality of your peak, not how long you can hang around with the lights on. And their legacies reflect that perfectly. Nobody questions Bird's greatness because he only played 13 seasons. Nobody questions Jordan's greatness because he stepped away more than once. The only people who get questioned are the ones who played longer and walked away with less on their resume. When that Mind the Game episode dropped, the backlash came instantly. Fans weren't feeling it, former players weren't feeling it, and Jordan's old teammates definitely weren't letting it slide. Stacey King, who won 3 championships with Jordan in Chicago, went off with zero hesitation. He even sarcastically renamed the podcast Cry Me a River and started calling out LeBron and Durant for constantly trying to convince the world of their greatness. He said, "Great players don't have to tell people they're great. You let fans do that. You let people debate it on talk radio and podcasts. Players don't have to do that. We all know you're great. You don't have to tell us. When you start going around trumpeting that you're great and pointing out what separates you from everyone else, that's a problem." Then he added, "That's why I call it the Cry Me a River podcast, because you're just crying and moaning about what they said." That line alone had the entire internet buzzing. But King didn't stop there. He went straight at Durant's longevity argument and exposed the huge contradictions behind it. Durant acted like playing 20 years is the ultimate badge of honor, talking about dedication and discipline, but King reminded everyone of a key fact. Durant has only played a full 82-game season 3 times in his entire career, and LeBron has only done it once in over 2 decades. King made it clear, if you're gonna preach longevity like it's everything, you better be showing up every night, not resting every other week. Then he took things even further. King pointed out Durant's track record in the playoffs since leaving Golden State, saying KD still hasn't proven he can win big without Stephen Curry by his side. He basically told the world that Durant's resume outside of the Warriors isn't matching the confidence he shows on these podcasts. The message was loud and clear. If you're going to talk about greatness, your results better back it up. The Brooklyn run fell apart, the Phoenix run fell apart, and after all that talent and all those years, Durant still hasn't shown he can win big without a stacked roster behind him. Social media lit up instantly. One fan posted, "Some people lose their father in a tragic situation and go play baseball. Some people join a 73-win team, get caught using burner accounts, play for 3 more teams, never reach the same success again, then say the goal is to play forever instead of actually winning." Another fan wrote, "He stepped away in the middle of a 3-peat, came back and dominated again. They can't even come close to matching his achievements." The internet was on fire with takes like this. Durant jumped on Twitter and doubled down instead of backing off. He wrote, "Congrats to those people, and I'll say MJ retired twice every day for the rest of my life. What are you going to do about it?" He tried to defend his stance by saying today's game is faster, puts more stress on joints, and demands more running, but fans weren't buying it for a second. These are the same fans who watched Jordan in an era with physical defense, intense contact, and rules that let defenders actually challenge you. The same fans who know Jordan played through injuries modern players would sit out for weeks. They weren't hearing Durant's explanation at all. And that's the real issue here. What Durant and LeBron don't seem to understand is this. When you try to tear down legends to boost your own image, it always backfires. It shows insecurity. It shows you know deep down you're not sitting on that same level, so you try to drag the legends down closer to yours. Jordan never did that. Kobe never did that. Those two respected the players who came before them, and because of that, their legacy stands strong without needing to knock anyone else down. They honored the history of the game. They built their legacies by winning, by competing, by showing the world what real greatness looks like on and off the court, not sitting on podcasts gossiping about who quit and who didn't. And here's the part about Jordan's legacy that Durant and LeBron still can't seem to understand. Jordan doesn't need to defend himself. His legacy stands on its own like a mountain. Recently, NBC brought Michael Jordan back into the NBA spotlight, not as a player, but as an ambassador, as a leader, as someone who can help fix the culture problems hitting today's league. Think about that. After more than 20 years away from the court, Jordan still has more influence and more pull than LeBron James or even Adam Silver. When Jordan speaks, people actually listen. If Jordan says players should compete, should show up, should respect the fans, that message hits differently. It cuts through all the noise. That's the type of presence he has without even trying. And that right there is Jordan's real response to Durant and LeBron. Not a tweet, not a podcast episode, not a comment section rant. His response is the fact that he's still relevant. His response is that his name still carries more weight than anyone in basketball today. His response is simple. When the league needs guidance, when the NBA wants to fix its issues, they don't call LeBron, they call Michael Jordan. They bring in the standard setter, the blueprint, the guy who showed entire generations what excellence looks like on and off the court. Durant and LeBron can laugh on their podcast as much as they want. They can downplay rings, dismiss systems, shrug off everything Jordan built. But none of that changes reality. At the end of the day, they're still measured against him. Jordan is the bar, and every conversation about greatness still circles right back to him. Every debate still circles right back to him. Every all-time list still puts him at the top. Every conversation about true basketball greatness starts with Michael Jordan's name, and nothing these new age arguments about longevity will ever change that. No amount of podcasts can rewrite what he did, and no wave of load management talk will ever create a legacy that reaches his level. Michael Jordan didn't chase years, he chased greatness. And greatness doesn't need 20 seasons to prove itself. Sometimes it only takes one moment, one game, one season to show the whole world what the best really looks like. Jordan had 13 seasons like that. 13 years of absolute domination. 6 championships, a perfect finals record, 10 scoring titles, 9 all-defensive selections, 5 MVPs, and the strongest peak any player has ever had. Durant and LeBron have nearly 40 seasons combined, and even with all that time, they still haven't matched what Jordan did in basically a decade. And deep down, everyone knows they won't. So yes, Michael Jordan responded to what Durant and LeBron said, but he didn't need to call them out by name to do it. His legacy did the talking. His mindset did the talking. His entire approach to basketball is the response. And it's louder than anything they could ever say on a podcast. It's louder than any joke, louder than any stat they could stack up. Because at the end of the day, when people think of basketball greatness, they think of Michael Jordan. Not longevity, not load management, not podcast debates, just pure, undeniable, unstoppable greatness. If you think today's NBA is lost this way, hit that like button. If you think players need to start respecting the game and the legends who built it, drop a comment below. And if you want more breakdowns exposing what's really going on in basketball, make sure you subscribe, because this conversation is far from over and the next video is already on the way.